Well, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and I got a message here from Tom. Tom says that there's no doubt that I probably dislike the browser add-on for ad blocking. And he says, do you think YouTube would consider implementing code to require a user to disable ad blocking before viewing any videos? He says that technology exists and it's been implemented in the UK on some TV websites, which sounds to me logical. Having spoken to some YouTubers, they've informed me that, without going into any specific numbers, that an average of 60 to 70% of their views are ad blocked. Do you think YouTube would risk pissing off a large number of people, yet at the same time increasing their ad revenue up by 200%, or do you think that they, may leave something like that up to the individual channels to enable or disable? Well, it's really funny that you mentioned that, because Twitch just a couple of days ago implemented an experimental feature that now, when I'm broadcasting on Twitch and someone is using ad blocker, that they actually get a message on their screen that comes up in the middle of the video of whatever I'm streaming and says an error has occurred, that the ad that was attempting to load failed, and click OK or click here for more information. And when they click about more information, it actually tells them about that ad blocking software is going to cause this error. Well, I did have a couple of people mention this in my last show, and it was kind of funny because they're like, ha ha ha, yeah, like it says that there was an error, but I actually had blocked the ad. Well, and that's exactly why they got the error. And when I mentioned that to them, I said, hey, please whitelist me if you like my content. That helps pay for the show. And the people fell silent that were complaining about that. And I thought that was kind of interesting because I really didn't know what to expect out of people seeing this. And this is an experimental feature. I decided to try it on my channel. It's not something that's on all the channels right now. And so when you're talking about this, it is, in fact, the technology does exist, just like you say, and it is being used on Twitch right now. So now, when I say that YouTube would do this, I don't really know. In fact, I think that probably not, because Google's overall strategy is that the more information that you get out to everybody, the more money they make. And the path of least resistance is really important to them. And if you make it so that ad blockers can't, so if you're using an ad blocker that you can't access the site, that defeats their overall goal. Now, they don't make money just from, the advertising on YouTube videos. They make money in many other ways as well, which may be very hard for some people to understand, but they believe, and they've proven, that the more information and the more tools that they provide to people, the more money they make, even with the advertising that they're doing in the current market conditions where people are blocking ads. And so, yes, they could make a lot more, but they have a lot of really goodwill with their users, and many of them find many people, especially Americans, feel entitled to be able to, use a service like Gmail for free without viewing the ads, or YouTube for free without viewing any of the ads. And they feel this sense of entitlement, and that they have the right to do this for whatever reason. I can't think of a logical reason why you should be able to say, okay, I'm not paying for this service, but I should deny you any income. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. it is a fact. And so that's just how people are. Would I turn that on my channel? Yeah, I probably would. And the reason is that I think that I have content that's good enough that people would turn off their ad blocker if they if they wanted to. And would I lose maybe 20 or 30% of my viewers? Maybe. But would I make more money? Maybe. I don't know. Making these videos, for me, of course, I like, the notion of making a living, making YouTube videos and live streaming and everything. But for me, even if I didn't make a single cent off of this, I still would be driven to share on YouTube. And I still would share on YouTube. And, would I, what would it look like in that respect? Well, I can tell you that, when you have enough money to do everything, you can do anything you want to, whether it makes money or not. Part of my overall, where I'm at in life right now is that I don't have enough money to cover all of my bills. And so the fact that these earn something for me is great, and it's necessary. If I didn't earn anything off of my YouTube videos, there'd be a couple things that would happen. One is I wouldn't have, an awesome camera like this. I wouldn't have, paid for maybe like these bookcases that I set up in the background and a couple of nice lights and everything. I may not even have the awesome computer that I have, because if it doesn't make any money, then it's a business decision to not spend money on that stuff. And this is all part of the creation of the quality of the videos. So it would have an impact on it. I probably actually wouldn't put out a video a day either. But the YouTube is not only about making money, it's also about influence. And so when I tell you guys, hey, check out my gameplay channel at the end of this video or whatever, and that there's a link in the description. It really is there, by the way. Then you get to check out this other thing. Or if I say you want to join our network, our YouTube network, there's also a link for that in the description. Or that if you're buying shit on Amazon anyway, there's a link for that in the description, and I get some affiliate credit. So you can see here that just the advertising alone is not everything. And in fact, we're looking right now at doing podcasting, which has no ad blocking. It doesn't exist. But if I convert some of these videos into a podcast format so that you can listen to them while you're traveling or whatever, then we're going to put an ad at the beginning and at the end of each episode, or something like that, or in the center. I don't know. I haven't figured it all out yet. I'm currently looking for a sponsor for that. And so there is no ad blocking on that. And if people like the content, they'll put up with them. If they don't, they won't. And the numbers of how many people actually download it and grab the stuff will, speak for themselves. And if nobody watches it because they don't like the ads, then so be it. So anyway, I think that's my thoughts on that. I can go either way with what YouTube does. If YouTube were to enable that feature, on all of YouTube, I don't think they will, but I'd be okay with it. And if they made it so that each individual channel could choose, I would certainly try it and see what happens. Not that I would keep with it all the time, but I would certainly try it. Thanks for the question, Tom. And rock on, man. Catch y'all later. Oh, and check out those links in the description for my gameplay channel. And if you like these videos and you're buying stuff on Amazon anyway, use the link in the description. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.